For today's lab, you're going to be doing part 3 in classifying matter. So it's on page 32 of your lab notebook. It should have already been glued down. On Monday, we glued it down. Now you're actually going to do the lab. You have a packet of supplies in the sandwich bag saying classifying matter part 3. You also have, you either have a graduated cylinder or you have a little syringe, because I didn't have enough graduated cylinders for everybody to have a graduated cylinder. Before you actually start the lab, you need to look at each substance. The substances are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. The substances are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to write down the color, the texture, and the particle size. So color, that's pretty easy. You just look at it and write down the color. The texture, if it's rough or smooth or bumpy, so you actually can put your hand in the bag and touch the material, or you might put your hand through the bag and touch the material. You can actually tell through the bag if you don't want to get your hands dirty. Particle size, the particle size is how large or small each individual piece is. So small, large, medium. The texture would be like smooth, bumpy, things like that. So you will fill out the color, texture, and particle size for substances 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. After you fill out that part, you have to check to see if it's soluble in water. So to check to see if it's soluble in water is where you will follow these directions. You will need 5 cups. You will need to label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you could just put the bag in front of the cup. So whatever cup is going to be cup 1, just put the bag in front of cup 1, cup 2, cup 3, cup 4, so on and so forth. This works best with clear cups, but if you don't have clear cups at your house, then that's fine. It'll work with any cup. You're going to use your graduated cylinder or your syringe to put 50 milliliters. So 50 milliliters is a whole syringe, but it is not a whole graduated cylinder. You'll have to fill it up to 50 milliliters, pour it in cup 1. Fill it up to 50 milliliters, cup 50 milliliters, cup 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you will take the contents of bag 1, pour it into cup 1. You will take a popsicle stick and you will stir for 15 seconds. Then you will record if it was soluble or not. If the substance dissolved in the water, then it is soluble. You will do the same things with substances 2 through 5. You have 5 popsicle sticks, 5 bags, 5 cups. You should not be using the same popsicle stick for all 5. You should use a different one. After you have tested all 5 of them to see if they were soluble or not, you're going to fill that in on your chart. Then you are going to use the solubility clue card to determine what your substances were. So if the color was white, the texture was grainy, the particle size was medium, and it was soluble in water, it tells you that is table salt. So on number 2, you will use this card to identify what all 5 of those substances were. And then you will answer the questions on 3 and 4 on notebook page 32. Make sure you answer all the questions. Now, I do not need any of this back. I don't want the bags. I don't want the substances. I don't want the popsicle sticks. I don't want these directions. I do want my graduated cylinder or my syringe back. So take the graduated cylinder or the syringe and put it back in the large bag, but all the other stuff can get thrown out. You need to talk to your parents about what they want you to do with the solutions that you created. Do they want you to throw it away outside, like dump the contents outside, in the sink? I don't really advise in the sink because it could clog up drains depending on where in the sink you threw it. At school, if you were here at school doing this lab, we actually dump the contents into the toilet and flush the toilet. So talk to your parents, see what they want you to do with them. Make sure you clean up your lab, clean up your cups. Don't leave a mess for your parents.